We often talk about dangerous adventures, roller coasters, and all sorts of creepy places that some of you want to avoid while some others are dying to try. But sometimes the most dangerous things are those things that we take for granted. Small actions or little things that we have at home can be the ones able to cause some major trouble in our lives if we're not careful. In today's video, we'll be looking at 15 things that are more dangerous than you think. Number 15, essential oils. A lot of people are finding comfort in essential oils. Different oils have different benefits that can make our lives easier. Some of them can help reduce anxiety, and some others can help relieve tension, and other problems such as nausea and headaches, and even bug bites. Then how are essential oils on this list? Well, while they're good for us, they can be terribly bad for our animal friends. For example, eucalyptus essential oil can be bad for your dog if they ingest that. They can experience diarrhea, vomiting, and sometimes even seizures. So if you use essential oils, make sure you keep them away from your pet's reach. They might be good for you, but very bad for them. Number 14, cat scratches. Make sure you don't get on your cat's nerves and be careful with the way you play with them. A single scratch might seem harmless, but it can produce something called cat scratch fever. If you start to notice that you're feeling a bit more tired than usual, or if you have a headache or fever after getting scratched by your cat, and you know where these symptoms came from, your cat's saliva and claws are capable of infecting your body with dangerous bacteria. So please, never take a scratch for granted. Number 13, nutmeg. If you associate fall season with a flavor, then it's probably some sort of dish or drink that includes nutmeg. This spice uses a perfect seasoning for sweet potatoes, butternut squash, and pumpkins to create some of the most famous dishes of the season. And that also includes drinks too. Apple cider, hot chocolate is a thing can be used with pretty much anything. But of course, I'd be careful. Excess can lead to some serious problems. It's been said that having too much nutmeg can produce hallucinations, and in some extreme cases, it can hurt your liver and stomach. Number 12, wood fires roasting. Some marshmallows or just spending a bit of quality time with your loved ones by a wood fire sounds appealing to many of us who are now experiencing harsh cold conditions. But be careful, wood fire is said to have pollutants that can be bad for the health. The American Heart Association published an article in which they state the concerns, and some of the particles that are released by the wood fires can be bad for people with asthma. These pollutants can apparently even trigger heart attacks. That's why some authorities are against the use of wood fire devices, unless they're certified and they can guarantee that your health is safe. Number 11, candles. Speaking of fire, candles are also part of this list due to their dangerous nature. It goes without saying a candle should never be left burning while you go out of your home, or if you go to bed. If you do, that the thing could easily cause a huge fire that you wouldn't be able to contain. But that's not all. Some guy who was a candle tester says that some of them are capable of exploding inside the glass they come in. So use your candle as you wish, but don't take your eyes off of them. 10. Zippers. On jeans, zippers have made life easier for anyone who likes to wear jeans, and said that back in the day, people used buttons instead of zippers, and that made things a bit more difficult. But even though the zipper is more practical, it's also the major cause of genitalia injury for men. Yes, that's right. A study from a urology journal found out that between the years of 2002 and 2010, there were more than 17,000 people who visited the emergency room due to injuries caused by their zippers. Most of those patients were men, but there were also some women who got hurt on their intimate parts with a zipper. Now it is worth noting that most of the men who got hurt were kids and teenagers. I guess adults learn to be more careful as the years go by, but it still seems like no one who wears jeans is exempt from this kind of incident. Number 9, toothpicks. Sharp, fragile, and thin, a toothpick has all the qualities to become a life-threatening object, and yet still we find them on tables all around the world. After all, they're very useful, especially if you're on a date and you get food stuck on your teeth. Just make sure you don't swallow them. Sometimes they use to hold our meals together, kind of like sandwiches that are too big to hold, and when you least expect them, they can travel down to your gut without you even noticing. Also, keep in mind that toothpicks are made out of wood, so a cut through your skin or mouth can cause some serious infection that you don't want. Number 8, avocados. This might be a surprise to a lot of you, but tons of people end up in the hospital simply because they do not know how to properly cut an avocado. A lot of times, inexperienced avocado eaters don't know how to get rid of the pit. They try to do it with a sharp knife, hoping to poke the right spots of the pick and pop out. Unfortunately, this is the most dangerous way to do it, as the tip of the knife can slip on the pit and come out to cut your finger or your hand. Once you cut your avocado in half, remove the pit with a spoon. This will then keep you from having an uncomfortable visit to the hospital. Number 7. Different types of spray. A lot of sprays are flammable, which means that they can easily cause a fire if used at the wrong moment. The most famous flammable spray is hairspray, which has been known to cause some unfortunate fiery incidents in the past. That's not all though. Direct contact of hairspray with your eyes can irritate them, and there are other sprays like deodorants that can harm your skin if you use in excess. They have way too many chemicals, and I'm sure your body doesn't want them. Number 6. Your fridge. Who would have thought that one of the most dangerous things in the world is right inside your kitchen? Believe it or not, refrigerators have been known to cause some serious problems to unlucky people all over the world. All you need to know is that as your fridge breaks down, you should never attempt to fix it unless you're actually trained to do so. In the past, people have lost their lives while messing with broken fridges. Part of that is because the cooling chemical can break, and also because the capacitors of the fridge can hold a charge that can be lethal, even after months of having the fridge unplugged. On the other hand, fridges can also be dangerous places for people to hide. Yeah, I know it sounds silly, but some people have gotten trapped inside their fridges, whether by accident or by playing. Locking yourself inside a fridge can cause suffocation, as it's an airtight appliance, so just be careful with your fridges, okay? Please. Number 5. Wet floor stuffs. Which stands for slips, trips, and falls, are known to be the major cause of accidents within the general industry. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, at least 15% of these accidents result in deaths, and the result become injury glams and lost work days. Wrinkled carpets, cords, and other obstacles are to blame for all the stuffs that happen every year. But the one thing that seems to cause the most of the harm is a wet floor. You might be familiar with that yellow sign that warns you against running or walking through a wet spot, but sometimes being too familiar with things makes us take things for granted. For that reason, the next time you see a wet floor sign, I hope you do take it seriously. Number 4. Clamshell packaging. It's nice to know that whatever goods we got at the store haven't been touched by other customers, and when your stuff is inside clamshell packaging, you can rest assured that it's brand new. But isn't clamshell packaging a bit too hard to open sometimes? That's why it shouldn't come as a surprise to us that this type of packaging has become one of the most dangerous things in the world. Some people have lost their fingers, injured their eyes, and hurt their muscles while trying to open clamshells with box cutter razor blades, knives, and sharp scissors. In fact, this type of packaging is considered a health issue by some doctors, and it's not a surprise of the week after Christmas is one of the peak seasons for this type of issue in emergency rooms all over the world. Number 3. Headphones. You might not notice it, but your headphones might be causing more trouble than a lot of loud noises around you, even chainsaws and other noisy equipment. Don't reach intense levels of sound the same way your headphones do. And the worst thing about it is that everything happens gradually. You start noticing the problem until serious damage has been done to your ears. So don't spend too much time with your headphones on, okay? You don't want to miss all the sounds happening around you. Now it's time for today's best pick. I'm sorry to break it to you, but roller coasters are a part of this list. The picture I chose for the day shows a very tragic roller coaster incident. So let's see why roller coasters are part of this list with number 2, amusement parks. I can't speak for every country around the world, but at least in the US, there's a loophole in the law that allows amusement parks to skip certain safety regulations. At the end of the day, it's up to every state in the country to decide how to control the safety in their amusement parks. Unfortunately, a lot of states don't keep a close eye on their parks, at the point that many of them can easily have accidents without anyone even noticing. If it wasn't for people and their phones, we probably wouldn't know about half of the accidents we've seen in different parks around the country. But I wouldn't worry too much if I were you. There are less than 1,000 amusement park related injuries per year. Just make sure you don't get inside a ride that doesn't look safe, and you should be fine. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show me that only about 15 of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. Jellyfish. At the top of the list, we have a creature that can cause a lot of damage, way more damage than you think. And I decided to place it at the top because some of you underestimate its power. When you swim in the ocean, you obviously want to avoid sharks and other big fish that seem threatening. But the box jellyfish has killed more people than sharks, and other water creatures getting stung by this jellyfish can be lethal if you don't get immediate help. In the Philippines, there are more than 20 jellyfish-related deaths reported every year. So if your only option for fun is a box jellyfish infested swimming spot, I'd recommend you stay away from it. I hope this video didn't scare you away from anything. I just wanted you to learn new things and keep an eye on stuff that we sometimes underestimate. Do you know about any other dangerous things that we might not be aware of? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for the day. I will see you all next time later, everybody.